Welcome back to Hi-Fi Lo-Fi. What you're looking at is a box of cassette tapes, mostly old cassette tapes that I've had for years, but a few new ones are in there, a few that I've bought more recently and recorded onto. So there's a guy watching this called Ralph Reinhardt, and he left a comment saying that we can tell what is a real Type 2 cassette tape. A real Type 2 tape smells kind of like a crayon or something like that. So what I'm going to do is a sniff test and see whether I can discern a true chrome tape from a replica which apparently does not have that smell. Let's see how we get on. Okay, so this box of tapes, as I said, is quite old. I've got some really old cassette tapes here from the 1980s. These are TDK PC-15s, and they were originally used for a home computer. We had a Commodore 64, and we used these to save files and games and things like that. So that's what these are. I won't go into those now. I'm not going to. I'll do a sniff test. No, can't smell anything. Just smells old. Got some pre-recorded music tapes. Don't have many left. I used to have a lot more cassette tapes, but over the years my collection has diminished, and I just don't remember what happened to all my cassette tapes. They, I suppose some of them perished, and some of them I just threw out for various reasons, and I've got very few left. This one is some sort of dance music cassette tape. I won't go into the details of these yet. Something called Reactivate, Belgian rave anthems back in the day. I suppose that was obviously something that interested me. The Mega Rave. These are like, what, 30 years ago, these. Yeah, there we are. If you're interested in those, I might do a little bit of a close-up on those another time. Something here called Megatron. I bought this in Spain when I lived in Spain back in 1993. I bought this double cassette album of what might be called EDM these days. We didn't really say EDM back in the day. Back in 1993 we didn't use that word. We didn't say EDM, which is electronic dance music, in case you don't know. And these were tracks that were being played in Spain at the time I was living there, in the clubs. We've got a BASF Ferro Extra 1. Which presumably means it's a Type 1, a normal, what is it, stereo cassette. Yeah, doesn't say anything, but I'm assuming of course Ferro Extra 1 would be Type 1. Smells old. This tape is also from 1993, from when I lived in Spain. It's got I did a tape to tape, so I borrowed a couple of albums from a friend and recorded them onto this cassette tape using what is now called a boombox, that had a double cassette player and recorder, a radio cassette player recorder, which I don't have anymore. So, got some inlay cards there. Got some Top of the Pops Weetabix 1960s. Top of the Pops Weetabix 1970s. These were cassette tapes that if you saved up tokens from breakfast cereal, you could get these cassette tape albums. But the cassette tapes themselves have long since departed, but I'm just left with these inlay cards. I just don't even remember half of this. I should say what happened to them. McVitie's Pop Hits. 2 inlay cards, but I'm fairly sure, yeah, I don't know why I've got 2, because it was the same, so 2 were inside the same cassette tape because it's the same album. I'll do a close-up on those another time. Some more inlay cards there. Something from a Memorex cassette tape. Sony UX90. What did I record on that? I recorded Eurythmics. The album title is Revenge. That was a good album. I like that album actually, and I wish I still had that tape. I don't have the tape anymore. It's a pity because I do like that album. I don't have that album anymore. And 5 Star Luxury of Life, which at the time I obviously liked. Not sure what that is. Right, TDK FE. What did I record on that? TerraVision. How to Make Friends and Influence People is the title of the album. Don't know what happened to that. Vaguely remember that. Right, let's get into the nitty-gritty of sniffing these Type 2s. So I've got some old Type 2s and some new Type 2s. So here I've got, and I've already shown you this in a video, I've got, well, when I say new, of course I mean new old stock. I'm not sure that these are still made, but recently opened, recently unpackaged. So we've got the Axia PS280, which I've already shown you, and I'm going to do a sniff test. Right, the colour is not, the colour is dark, if you can see that, the colour is dark. Not really, fairly neutral smell, can't really smell much. What's this? Right, a TDK CDing, also a Type 2. No, not getting much of a smell from that. I should wind it on a bit because it's the lead-in that's shown. Right, I can wind it on pretty quickly. Got a short lead-in. No, not getting any smell from that at all. Another of those TDK CDing. Another PS2. I'm sure what that is. But, right, so here I've got a TDK SF Type 2 SF90. This is an old one. This is, says on it Techno Rave. Now this is about 30 plus years old. So let's, yeah, if you can see that. The lead-in tape is a bit long on this. Don't really get anything. Fairly neutral smell. Don't really notice any smell with this one. And I've had this tape probably 30 plus years. I don't remember exactly. It's got a few songs on. So Techno Rave. I did play this the other day just to listen to it, and quite frankly, the Techno Rave album is no longer something that I enjoy listening to, and haven't done for many, many years. The other tracks on there, just a selection of rave type tracks that were more commercial. Right, JVC AF2 Right, so this is JVC AF260. I'm not sure what's on it because I haven't written anything on it and I haven't even used the stickers. Oh, well, this has a strong smell of something. This is interesting. Yes, yeah, it's definitely got a strong smell. Not quite sure I'd describe it as a crayon smell, but certainly it does have a strong smell. Yes, that is a very unique smell. Not something I would identify. In fact, it's because I've got the word crayon or whatever. Sorry, Ralph, if you're watching, I forget exactly what you said, but I've got this kind of image in my head that it's going to smell like crayons. So I suppose that's kind of given me some kind of it's preempted my sniff test, I suppose, but definitely a strong smell, this one. So this is a JVC. So the TDKs don't seem to have that smell, but the JVC, which is, I'm not sure when this must be around 30 years ago. I don't remember when I bought it, but it's going to be quite a long time ago. This definitely has a strong smell. What else have we got? Yeah, I've had this in a video recently. This this cat one. Remember that one? No, it's got no smell. That. Okay. What's that? That's the TDK. What is it? I had it in the video. I forgot what it is now. TDK. I don't know. High position type 2. Anyway, it's got a picture of a cat on it. It's 80 minutes. Don't see the coding on it to say what it is. Right. What else have we got? Okay, we've got some Virgin tapes, as in Virgin the company. Chrome IEC2 high position or position high. Sorry, it says not high position. IEC2 position high. Yeah, these, I'm not sure when I bought these, but again, most of these cassette tapes are around, these older ones are 90s, they'll be probably early 90s and 80s. Yes, wow, that's a strong smell. That is also a very strong smell. So I'm going to assume, thanks to Ralph Reinhardt's comment, that I'm going to assume that these ones that have the strong smell, and I haven't done any research on this, by the way, so I haven't checked anything, but I'm going to assume that this is the real deal. It's a really pungent smell, I have to say. You can't make a mistake. There's definitely a pungent smell with this cassette tape, with this tape. Really strong. So the JVC, the Virgin, they smell very strong. But the other ones, the TDKs, do not have any kind of strong smell. I think this is the this is the same as another one of those. So I've got two JVC AF260 minutes. Got two of those. Yeah, very impressed. Yeah, thanks for that, Ralph. Really good information. How about a metal tape? Does a metal tape smell? What does a metal tape smell like by comparison? So I've already shown you a couple of metal tapes in a previous video. I've got this Sony here and this Axia. Well, I mean, it doesn't have that strong kind of crayon type smell, but it definitely has a smell that is, it's not a neutral smell. There is a smell, but I wouldn't be able to tell you what it smells like. Let's just spool it on a bit. with my finger. I know you're not supposed to do this, but it's got sort of like a plasticky smell, really. But I don't know whether that's the shell I can smell or whether that's the tape. The colour's different as well. I suppose I should have talked about the colour. It's only a dull colour. It doesn't have like a glossy colour. It's like a matte. The tape itself is like a dull matte sort of graphite colour. Not sure how much the light in here is affecting this, but yeah, it's got a. It's not a pungent smell like the Type 2s, but it definitely has a kind of maybe it could be the shell though. Don't get me wrong. I might be just confusing the smell of the tape with the smell of the plastic case, because these are new old stock. I have opened these recently. They've been in plastic wrappers for many years, and you know, plastic does of course have a smell. This is another Type 2, it's an Axia J's Metal 70. Well, this is interesting. This has a smell. This is a different smell to this Sony. This is a different smell to this Sony CDIX4. This is like a... And by the way, the tape is also kind of a graphite look to it, although not as matte looking, more sort of shiny looking. No, I think that is the tape. I don't think that is the shell. Ah, well, all right, it could be coming from the case or even the stickers. I don't know. I might have made a mistake. It may not be the tape. Okay, I could be confusing it with a smell coming from the case. Let's see what the smell of this case. This is, I have to say, this is probably the weirdest video I'm ever going to do. Sniffing cassette tapes. It might be coming from. Might be coming from one of these things. It might be coming from the inlay card or the. No, it's not the case. The case does not smell. It might be coming from the glue used on these sticky labels, I don't know. No, it's not the, certainly with these, it isn't the... So I'll take that back. I don't really smell anything on this. Yeah, I don't think it is this. I don't think this has any smell. I think the smell was coming from these stickers. Right, let's get a normal. So let's take this Maxell UR60, which I bought perhaps about a year ago. This is not old stock, this is new stock. There's no smell at all. Something I do know is that Type 1 tapes are brown. Yeah, there's no smell, this is totally neutral. Everything's totally neutral, I can't really smell anything. The tape's really brown. So there we are. Well, that's the sniff test done. And yes, the Type 2s, these Virgin Type 2s and the JVC Type 2s have a very strong, unique smell. But the TDK Type 2s do not have that strong smell. So this has been Hi-Fi Lo-Fi. Thanks for watching.